There's another organization, Yoruba Unity Forum. That's supposed to be a mediating organization led by Archbishop Ladigbolu. They are quiet as the saucepan. We don't know what's happening there again. How many organizations do we have leading? Okay, any other organization? So it's only Afenifere we should go and do a rally against. Me, I say so. If there's any rally to be done, it is Afenifere we should face. Ask Afenifere, where are we meant to go? But they've told us. They said there is no way what we want can be obtained until the constitutional matters dealt with, which means we go back to Western Regional Constitution. Go back to what Papa Awolowo negotiated.
But ma, do you support restructuring?
As far as I'm concerned, with first-hand experience of being involved in many, we've had many restructurings before. The creation of states, wasn't that restructuring? It was restructuring. Most of the states are not viable. And some people are still shouting for states. I know Ijebu still wants Ijebu state. Very soon we will have Kakawa state. That's a lot of the states. In my view, they're not viable. They're not viable at all, but they were created. Now, in terms of restructuring, we need to agree what people mean by restructuring. One aspect of restructuring is devolution. I know from my involvement with many different sectors of the Yoruba population that they don't want Abuja deciding what they should be doing. And I agree with them. We have that in United Kingdom too. If I can bring in United Kingdom has England, independent of the rest, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and they all have their flags. And there was a referendum, most of us remember, the Scottish referendum. They sensibly asked to run their own life. And there was a referendum. This restructuring is actually a gimmick at the moment. It's a gimmick. It is non-functional until there is a change in the constitution. You cannot be talking referendum. Is there any clause? Is there any clause in the constitution at the moment which is going to make referendum possible? That is why I have problem with the Yoruba. The Yoruba politicians. Which one of them ever stood up in the Senate or elsewhere to demand that there is a need for referendum? Why should people vote you in? Anyway, they say they always rig elections, so maybe people never voted them in. They just rigged it and went in. But when I was elected, people put a cross next to my name and they put their trust in me. So I will repeat, this restructuring is a gimmick. I tell you why it's a gimmick. Because 2014, when we had the Ethnic Nationalities Conference, APC, the current government, as a party, were not interested. Albeit, APC members did send delegates. And we had capable people in charge, 2 Yoruba important people were very involved in this Ethnic Nationalities Conference. Senator Okuromu and, of course, Papa Bolaji Akinyemi. Both of them, 2 Yorubas, were right at the forefront of all of this. What we understood, all of them went there to go and negotiate what they wanted for their own area. I monitored it very closely. For instance, one of the issues discussed then was that the cows would have the freedom of everywhere, freedom to roam around the streets, freedom to roam around the streets. I remember it was discussed. I remember interviewing Papa Falaye. And one of the things there was that they will have security systems that is come together under Yoruba states, the 6 states. So one is not surprised we have Southwest Network now. So restructuring now is a gimmick. Let me repeat, a gimmick. A gimmick because the current government, APC-led government, when they were voted in, I didn't see anything in their manifesto which committed them to anything called restructuring. Even a day ago now, His Excellency President Buhari is saying he's not going to be pushed to get into restructuring. I find that totally annoying. The people of Nigeria in general, now I'm stepping out of Yoruba, Igbo, they killed all these boys, all because they want their own independence. They want to get out of the country, what I call the project that is not working. The Arewa people, they've been doing Boko Haram. I had a privilege 1999 when all the Kaduna crisis, Christian Muslim, I took a team of delegates all the way to Kaduna. We spent 2 weeks there to look at what's happening. The Igbos and the Awusas were fighting each other. Some thought it was religious. So we've got enough evidence that the relationship between these different communities, 4 major communities, Igbo, Yoruba, Fulani, Awusa, not to talk about the people of Niger's Delta, who claim their petrol has been stolen for years, whilst they've been suffering and not getting their rights. So restructuring is a gimmick. When we went to Ethnic Nationalities Conference, there was no commitment from APC. It was a PDP agenda. PDP agenda. Now, when APC got voted in, of course, I remember they did say they were going to facilitate ideas around this restructuring. APC has failed so far to be open about where they are going with this restructuring. I have to add, I had the privilege of having Papa Oshoba as a guest. I didn't invite him to talk about restructuring. I invited him and by 2 other guests, including Papa Adebanjo, to tell us about Awoism, Awo, and a Yoruba nation fit for purpose. But during that session, Papa Oshoba said there are 3 options for this restructuring. If I were to go onto the street and ask people, what are the 3 options? I don't know it. Maybe some other people know it. So back to your main question about this restructure. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. I don't know why people are shying away from it. Put it in the newspaper. What does APC want to do? What does APC want to do? APC is the one in government. What do they want to do about this restructuring? And we need an answer. One answer is this constitution. The leadership of Yoruba says this constitution is got to go. That it's not a constitution that will favor, that I would say the constitution is a disadvantage, significant disadvantage to one pocket of the population known as Nigerians, if there are ones. Although Papa Awolowo has said in his lifetime that there is nothing called Nigerians. He said so. He said there is nothing called Nigerians. It's not like Britain, where you have the British. The Yoruba people of Nigeria believe strongly they want to be out. Out either with power devolved down to run their own life, minimal responsibility to the center. So, or they totally come out. Cessation. That is what Agbakonito Nile Odua has been trying to facilitate understanding, reduce misunderstanding around what the Yoruba people want, and trying to bring the elders. I mean, when I say elders, now 2 groups now, opinion leaders, as well as the elders. So let's focus on where should we be? Where should Yoruba people be? Who should be answering that? What is the point in voting people in when they won't give you an answer? Now, we have Papa Yemi Oshibajo. As far as I'm concerned, he is the Yoruba representative, the leader in Abuja. He is the one voted for. People make noise about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As far as I'm concerned, he's a politician. He's not voted for by anybody. He's a founder of political parties. In England, we won't pay him, we won't look at him as anybody that we will continue to bash. He's got money to fund parties, so he's funding them, or his party. His business is with APC. is not representing, in my assessment, English assessment, is not representing anybody who has elected him democratically. So I will say we leave Papa Asiwaju Bola Ahmed aside. What about Papa Oshibajo, who is the deputy, the vice president? Why is he not talking to all these young people running around? Silence. Silence is what young people are getting. Silence seems to be what women are getting. Silence is what children are getting when the schools are in trouble. The businesses are in trouble. The relationships between different groups of people, serious trouble, grave concerns. And I'm yet to see how the coordination is being achieved. Today, Papa Basanjo will say, this is where we are going. Then Papa Shoyinka will say, another one. Where is the cohesion? Let people go and rally themselves together like troops and sit down talk. Let them get rid of all these animosities between themselves. And some years ago, somebody abused me. And some years ago, somebody called me this. And said, excuse me. Let us put the interest of the nation of Yoruba first. Our ancestors left us this land. It belongs to Oduduwa Ateworo. He left, these people were not educated, and they left us with this land. All the pieces of land sold to Igbo, sold to Fulani, sold to this, our own land. We are landowners. When people just sell their land willy-nilly to whoever they like because they want money. I remember being invited to a reception where Chinese were. Chinese people. In the past, Yoruba people in particular, they used to go down to China to do business. Now they've invited Chinese to come down. Take any Chinese man go to Ilaro. Oh, there's land here, come and develop. Hey, there's land here, come and develop. Yeah, we will give you land. We will give you land. Go and look at all the free zones. All the free zones. I couldn't believe it. Excuse me. Absolute chaos. Chaos. And I will repeat, let Yoruba people who really have the future of the nation at heart go and get Afenifere, the chieftains of Afenifere, to sit down with them and find a way forward. That's the only thing that will make this. There's no way in which a United Nations is going to leave Afenifere and say, Yoruba nation, you are formed. People in the West, they have common sense. They don't deal with people who are disorganized, and they are not stupid. They know what is going on. They read papers, and they have people who are local intelligence in the area called Yoruba land. I rest my case for now.
But the Afenifere leaders keep insisting on restructuring. They've already come out to say restructuring or nothing else. How do we change that position?
As I said, it is not just restructuring. They cannot even get restructuring, as far as I'm concerned. They cannot get restructuring until they change the constitution. Excuse me. The constitution, Afenifere leadership says they will not negotiate with the government as long as the constitution remains. So the restructuring is void. It can't happen. What we should be talking about is constitutional. Let's sort out the constitution. We cannot do no restructuring with the constitution that we don't want. It's not possible. No, it's not possible. So I don't think they are talking restructuring. They are talking change of constitution.
So do you think that would work? Do you think that would work for us?
Sorry?
Do you think that will help Nigeria?
You mean restructuring?
Yes.
Well, you see, Nigeria is a project. Successive governments have been unable to deliver results. Successive governments have failed to deliver results. It's a project, and the project leaders haven't demonstrated competence to deliver the dividend. Excuse me, from 1960 to now, You have to be relying on generator for electricity. Generator. Go to the hospitals. People have to pay for tablets. They have to pay for blood. They have to, excuse me, I cannot understand it. What is the level of competence that is in Nigeria that has failed to deliver 365 days of uninterrupted electricity? I was so excited. Towards the end of the era of Jonathan Goodluck, the country borrowed money from India. They borrowed money. They said the money, they were going to be transferring it from one state to another. So this one state, or Lagos State, will finish their palaver with electricity. Then they will send it to Ogun State. Excuse me, where is the money now? Who is doing that? Lack of continuity. So I'm still asking the question, the money they got from India towards the end of Jonathan Goodluck's era, where's the money? And why is light not being dealt with? So I cannot see how that the country can even stand up on the international stage. Common basic human rights of electricity, you cannot deliver. Excuse me. Go down to the Republic of Benin. And again, Nigeria is giving them electricity in Benin. Excuse me. No light. Not to talk about security. Excuse me. When we were young, if a thief gets your garden and say, "Ole," they run. Now they don't do. They tell you, "Who are you?" Eh? Not to talk about killing of innocent people. The latest they killed the daughter of Papa Fashionati, the leader of Yoruba, the daughter, Mrs. Olakunrin. They killed the lady. They killed the lady. Nobody knows now. Is it Fulani that killed him, to kill her? Is it Hausa that killed her? Whilst people want to keep ethnicity and animosity, they want to keep it away. I'm still asking myself, the leader of Yoruba, Papa Ruben Fashionati, is 95 or so now. 12th of July, 2019, they killed his daughter, suspected Fulani herdsman. Before that, Papa Falai was screaming. They kept going back to his farm. They kept going back to his farm. They kept going back to his farm, harassing him. He ran here, ran there. How he resolved it? Whenever, how can you have a country where security of persons, security of property is such a nonsense? A nonsense. Nothing to write home about. All of us abroad, many don't want to come home. If you have built a house at home, you are regretting you built the house because you're wondering what is going to happen. Every day I get a letter, somebody wants to come to England. Go to Mauritania. Our people are plenty in Mauritania. Go to Spain. They will run inside a boat with no documentation. They will arrive in Spain. Go to Italy, not to talk about Oman, not to talk about United Arab Emirates, not to talk about Libya, not to talk about Finland. Oh, interesting enough, only two groups of people are all over the place. So Igbo and Yoruba, Igbo and Yoruba. I was asking somebody the other day, I said, is it that you Igbo people are Yoruba, you don't have any tolerance with what's going on in Nigeria? Because Hausa and Fulani people don't live abroad. They don't live abroad. And I'm not making a sweeping statement. So who is getting it wrong? Is it the Yorubas that don't know what they are doing? Is it the Igbos don't know what they are doing? And the Hausas know what they are doing? Because the only Hausas I see coming to England, they're coming for private healthcare. That's when you see them, or they come for shopping or they come for holiday. Is it that they are contented with their lot? What exactly is happening? This is what we need to research. There is inequality, and that's why we got a problem. So restructuring right now is a gimmick. It is a gimmick. It is a gimmick because if constitution we don't want, which is going to come first? Getting rid of the constitution, totally. I hear that somebody on my gege is talking about constitutional review. I've been trying to get the Omagege to come on to Agbakoni, Tony, Leo, but when you call these people, they don't want to come out to talk. I've never seen such country in my life. All these people who are voted for, come out. Come and talk to people. I've never seen them. You are having constitutional review. You are not going out to the locality, talking to people, having a team to explain what is going on. You are sitting in Abuja. I don't understand why the elected politicians are not easily available. Well, maybe they'll say the governors should be available. The governors. Is it that it is the governors that should be going around making, or the local House of Assembly members? But at the end of the day, perhaps that's where we want to be. I haven't seen local House of Assembly members doing much. I remember there's an organization called Yoruba Koya. When they started their own project, I recall they found their way to each local state house assembly to be able to get them to understand the issues affecting people. So, as I said, using my English perspectives, I have never seen a situation where problem is glaring, people are getting depressed, people are running around like headless chickens, people want to see change, and nobody, please, name one politician who has gone out to Ibadan to go and talk to young people from Abuja. Name one of them. Name one who has gone to Lagos to go and talk to them. Name one who has gone to Oshogbo to go and talk. Excuse me, what are they sitting in Abuja doing that they are not responding? Is it because the government of APC clearly has decided, make them they shout, make them they shout, make them shout, tire? Is that so? I have never seen the behavior I've seen in Yoruba land and Nigeria. I've never seen it anywhere in the world. In England, we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that in UK. When people have issues, when we were going to get out of Europe, when my government, the Conservative government, was going to take the country out of Europe, things were happening at the local level. When we were talking about single European currency, we did the same. Why aren't these politicians out there talking to local people? Why aren't they doing so? Is it something that is a breach of protocols in Nigeria? We need dialogue. When I say people are fed up now, they say, what dialogue are you talking about, ERELU?
Okay, ma.
Because they know people would listen.
Okay, ma. Thank you very much, ma.